Here's your wrestling news for February 13th, 2023, and we're starting off today with Roman Reigns, who will defend his undisputed WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania 39 against Cody Rhodes. It was reported not too long ago that WWE was considering splitting WWE's top title and Reigns having to defend the WWE Championship on one night and the Universal Gold on the other, but that was never the plan. When Ringside News asked around, they were told that Roman Reigns was never ever scheduled to defend twice at this year's WrestleMania, and that Reigns vs. The Rock was always the priority. Unfortunately, that match is not happening, and it will be Rhodes who steps into the ring with the Tribal Chief. And while WWE is reportedly planning on having two world titles again soon, it was never happening at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns and The Rock are the two most successful names from the Anoa'i family, with both having multiple world titles and WrestleManias to their names. As the cousin of one of the greatest of all time, it's hardly surprising that Reigns has been compared to the Brahma Bull, but the Universal Champion is his own man. While speaking to Bill Apter, Ricky Steamboat talked about Roman's growth over the years and said that the Tribal Chief didn't want to live in his cousin's shadow. He was the kind of guy who would open up and try to do anything that would make him better. He didn't want to be a shadow of The Rock, and he had a Hollywood movie star face, and that was a big plus right there for the girls. But very tight family, man. With his family, his kids, very tight. While a match between the two isn't happening this year, The Rock has left the door open for future shows, so perhaps one day we'll see the People's Champion take on the head of the table. Roman's next title defense will come this Saturday when he faces Sami Zayn at Elimination Chamber, but Reigns is seemingly going into this match alone. On SmackDown, Paul Heyman said that Jimmy and Jay will be watching this Friday's SmackDown and Elimination Chamber at home, which many fans saw as a way to write off the pair due to Jimmy's DUI charge. While Jimmy's legal issues have made travel to Canada difficult in the past, that isn't the case this time, as on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer reported that both USOs are cleared to enter Canada. As for the segment last Friday, it's possible that the brothers may indeed not show up in Montreal, or they could just be a swerve, but Canada's strict rules won't keep them from Elimination Chamber if they're needed. It's been 162 days since CM Punk last appeared for AEW, and he is now the only person suspended following All Out to still be suspended. Many fans think that Punk is finished in AEW thanks in part to reports of top-tier talent refusing to work with him if he is brought back, but now Punk has everybody's attention with a new video. On Instagram, Punk shared a video from Ice-T, who talked about the importance of forgiveness, but specified that being forgiven does not give a person an excuse to act the same way. Perhaps Punk is seeing forgiveness from AEW's roster for what he said and did it All Out, or it's possible that he believes that the Elite are the ones in the wrong, who he is ready to forgive. It's possible that Punk's message of forgiveness is aimed at WWE, who he has had a frosty relationship with since walking out in 2014. While the AEW locker room is said to be mostly anti-Punk, he does have some supporters such as Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. And what do you think Punk means with this post? Let us know in the comments. Now tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and for the superstars of WWE, it's a time to remind that special someone just how special they are. Since joining the Judgment Day in Cardiff, Dominik Mysterio has been inseparable from Rhea Ripley, and in an interview with Bleacher Report, shared his plans for tomorrow's special day. I think Valentine's Day will be more special if it was just me and mommy. There's no need, there's always a need to ruin my parents' Christmas, Thanksgiving, other holidays, 4th of July, everything, but I think February 14th, I'll leave it special for just me and mommy. For the record, Dominik Mysterio was recently engaged to his high school sweetheart, while Rhea Ripley is in a relationship with AEW star and fellow Australian Buddy Matthews. The on-screen romance between the two is just for show, but a show the fans are certainly enjoying. And here's hoping that Dominik stays true to his word and keeps clear of his parents this Valentine's Day. Last year, it was reported that WWE had taken place in contract tampering, which is the act of trying to convince wrestlers under contract elsewhere to get out of their deals. These reports were so serious that Tony Khan was said to be fired up at a meeting at a taping at AEW Dynamite in 2022, and AEW's chief legal officer even reached out to WWE. Speaking on the Dan Le Batard show this week, Tony Khan was asked about the alleged tampering and said that he's heard that this is happening from multiple wrestlers. I can't really comment on what WWE's internal struggles, internal stripes are, because I don't work there and I'm not there. I can only speak to the challenges we've had, and I've got a lot of wrestlers come to me and allege that WWE reached out to them to tamper with their contracts and ask them to break their contracts. I can't confirm that specifically. I can only tell you what the wrestlers have come to me and said. But I've had multiple wrestlers and staff report that to me. It was very disturbing, and I've had to go out and try to put on good shows despite this alleged tampering. Stuff like that. But frankly, I don't think it stopped us because the quality of the product and the quality of the shows is at an all-time high right now. Khan didn't name any names, but it has been reported in the past that WWE is interested in Wardlow and have sent feelers to Brian Cage, whose AEW deal is up this year. The biggest fish WWE is hoping to sign is World Champion MJF, who has openly teased leaving AEW when his deal expires in January 2024. But do you see anyone on AEW's roster leaving for the sunny shores of WWE? In 2004, after an incredibly impressive 2 years, Brock Lesnar abruptly left WWE, telling the promotion within weeks of his exit that he wanted out. WrestleMania 20 marked the end of Lesnar in WWE, at least until the Raw after WrestleMania 28, but it did not mark the end of the F5. In an interview with Chris Van Vliet, Matt Morgan spoke about Lesnar's exit and said that Vince McMahon himself called him into an office to tell him that the F5 was going to be his new finisher. Morgan said that he always felt like the decision was a shot at Lesnar, especially since his new character was a black-dyed hair stutterer whose struggles on the mic would elicit laughter from fans. Morgan added that he was close to Brock before his departure, as the pair were on the same team for Survivor Series 2003, and also spoke about trying to hit the move on the 500-pound Big Show. When they said, "Can you do it?" "Yes, sir, no problem." But then, you hope Big Show will help you get his big butt up, things like that when you deliver the move. But we pulled it off, luckily. And at the time, I'm pretty sure I was only the third time to lift the third time, and I'm pretty sure that I was only the third person to lift Big Show up on their shoulders, at least in a WWE ring. Cena did it, and I know Brock did. I was the third. Matt Morgan may have adopted the F5, but the move is synonymous with Lesnar, and WWE had no issue with giving the move back to the Beast upon his return in 2012. Since her Women's Royal Rumble return, Chelsea Green has adopted a Karen-themed character who's repeatedly claimed to Adam Pearce about the so-called unfair treatment she's been shown. Green has been winless since returning to WWE, but now she may be getting some serious backup from an old ally. During Green's entrance for her latest Raw match, fans in the arena saw the initials RS in the corner of the Titantron, which many believe is a nod to NXT's Robert Stone. Green was managed by Stone during her NXT tenure, and with this new Karen character, don't be surprised if the two reunite, this time on the main roster. And we're ending today with Eddie Kingston, who is known for his in-ring violence, but now the Mad King is dealing with an injury. During Wrestling Observer Radio, Brian Alvarez revealed that Kingston had to be pulled from a Defy show due to the injury he suffered last Wednesday, which is odd considering he wasn't on Dynamite. However the injury happened, Kingston hopes to be on this week's Dynamite and has a match with Jay White next weekend, and we hope this injury doesn't derail those plans.